Hello, thank you for clicking on my video. In today's video, I just wanted to mainly just get this video out there for the sake of getting it out there, because I'm finding that I am a bit of a procrastinator, and every time I want to do one of these videos, I just want to try and make it as perfect as possible. And the more that I try to make it perfect, you know, the less of my personality that I'm actually putting out there. So I just really wanted to be able to make a video where I don't focus too much on the technicalities of it and really just talk about why I'm actually on YouTube and what I'm planning to do here. Okay, so the main reason that I am looking to make more of a presence on YouTube is just to talk about the things that are really important to me and the things that I am really passionate about, which is self-development and how you can completely change your mindset and achieve anything you actually want. And it's something that I've personally managed to achieve in my own life. I've been able to change certain aspects of myself, and as a result been able to achieve some of the things that I've really wanted in life. And some of those things are like moving abroad. I remember really wanted to become an expat, so I became an expat. I moved to Canada. I also wanted to meet somebody, and as simple as it sounds, to meet somebody, it was something that I found so difficult. And even having a career change, that was something that I manifested, or you know, completely changed my mindset in order to achieve that. And more recently, being able to get pregnant. So I know that all it takes is for you to be able to change your mindset about something in order to be able to achieve it. And when I first started out, I remember thinking that, when I first started out, I remember as a youngster, the reason why I got into so much self-development was because I just felt like I was constantly suffering, and I always felt like my life was going wrong, and I always felt like my life could have been better, and I always wanted to somehow make it better as a result. And that is like most people in the world. And so on my journey, I guess, I remember just growing up in general, I just used to suffer a lot. Everything made me suffer, and I always felt like I was always down. You know, my life wasn't always I always wanted to somehow be able to improve my life, because I felt like my life just wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. And over the years, I wanted to find a way of being able to get out of it. And I guess that's like most people, you know, people start searching religion and spirituality and all these different things in order to just improve that's all they want, is to improve their life. And so I went on my own journey. I've studied so many religions. I have delved into spirituality, and along the way I've been able to find my own unique ways of being able to figure out how to get the things that I really want in life. And I found that the main thing when it comes to achieving what you really want is to be able to make it a priority in your life, even the simple things. Because I always wondered why some people were able to have the things that they wanted so effortlessly, while other people, they just seem to suffer more. They just seem to find it so much more difficult just to achieve the most simple things. Something as simple as being able to find a partner, you know, it's something that people take for granted, and it happens every single day. But for me personally, I just couldn't understand why it had taken so long. Whereas being able to, you know, get up and move abroad was something that I found a lot more effortless. And when I look back and when I analyse that, I realise there was a vast difference between the two in how I achieved one more so than the other. And that all comes down to your mindset. It all comes down to how you think about something. And a lot of it, the biggest thing is resistance and insecurities and all the negative self-talk that you do that stops you from actually achieving what you really want. So in one of my videos, I mentioned how I manifested my husband. And I remember when I was single, I used to feel like I was suffering so much by being single. It was as though I couldn't I just couldn't get past myself or over myself to try and get myself out there. And it was only really once I actually started to work on myself that I realised just what I was doing, you know, how I was actually holding myself back. So I talked about that in another video, which I'll link it on this video, but I mainly just talked about how a lot of it does come down to resistance, and it comes down to, you know, your own insecurities really stopping yourself from actually achieving it. And I find that with other things as well in life. So I find that when I wanted to make a career change, when I wanted to be able to have a baby, those things again were actually stopping me from achieving it. There were certain things that I would constantly say to myself, things like, you know, why is it not happening? It's never going to happen for me. You know, it's too late for me. There were these phrases, and it almost becomes your mantra. And I just kept saying all of these things to myself over and over again. And when I look back, I realised that those were the things that were actually holding me against it. And that is exactly what they talk about in the law of attraction when it comes to manifesting anything. It all comes down to what you actually believe that you can actually have in your life. Because when you say certain things like that, you know, a certain negative talk, you are actually telling yourself that it's not going to happen. And so in terms of the law of attraction, that's how you're actually keeping it away from yourself. So I just wanted to mainly talk about how, you know, it really comes down to changing your mindset to actually achieve, you know, whatever it is that you really want. And I actually have a blog which I'll link down. I'll link down below, and I talk a lot about how, you know, you can really get whatever you want when you make it a priority in your life. So, you know, something like, you know, trying to meet a partner, a lot of the time, you know, people would say things like, well, you know, if it's going to happen, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. If you, you know, it will just happen one day. And it's almost like you're giving your power away by doing that. It's almost like, you know, fate will decide if you're going to have that. And so you sort of give your power away and just wait for it to happen. And for other people, the reason it tends to happen so much more easily is because they've just not got the resistance, you know, that's holding them back from it, which means that they're so much more open to it. And so when you start working on yourself and you start making it a priority in your life, even though other people don't really need to make it a priority in their lives because they don't have that resistance, when you start to make it a priority in your life, it just means that you're basically tackling that resistance and you're tackling your insecurities and you're starting to go more for you know, what you believe that you deserve. But yeah, I do want to talk more about things like that. So this is mainly just a quick video just to put out there that this is what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to talk about, you know, planning to talk more about things like this basically. And at the moment it's just something that I'm finding a little bit difficult in actually just getting my videos out there, and just putting them out there, not really sort of caring so much, because, you know, there's a lot of people on YouTube who, you know, there's a lot of keyboard warriors on YouTube, and so sometimes it sort of puts you off a little bit. So this is, you know, personal development for me in a sense, that I'm going to start putting more videos out there and just get them out there for the sake of it, not really caring so much what, well, if any negative comments do come back, and even if I don't get any comments, but just sort of help myself, you know, keep going. But yeah, like I said, I do have a blog, so do check that out. And yeah, I'll be back with more videos. So thank you for watching. Okay, bye.